Okay, we are live. Don't you hate it when people come on YouTube and they're basically just staring at the screen? We don't want to do that. My name is Claude Diamond, and I haven't done a beer with Claude in a long time. Thought I'd do it tonight. I had a great day today. I'm in Winter Park, Colorado. See that mountain behind me? That's Byers Peak. Byers Peak, I believe it's about 11,000 feet. And I've run up in these mountains. I'm at 9,000 feet. I did a lot of running today. So I deserve a beer. Here is my first little beer. Let me show off my background here, make life a lot easier for you guys to see things. Don't you love when people broadcast? This is my office in Colorado. I have this built on the side of my house. Yes, I know. I got a haircut. I might have got butchered a little too. I don't know. It's the summertime, and when you run every day like I do trail running. All you think about at the end of the day is a beer. So I got out all my cheap little beers out of the freezers. Can you see that ice there? Oh, I love it. This is the way I like it. I don't know if I'm the only guy who drinks. Do you freeze your beer? Am I the only one? I throw my beers in the freezer. And I love cheap beer, and I like cheap beer and cheap tequila. I also like expensive beer. Here's good old Miller High Life, $8.99 a 12-pack, I believe. Good old Coors, always a favorite of mine. Just a good standard beer. Found this recently. If you're a beer aficionado, Pliny the Elder is probably, if you like your IPAs, I don't think they call it exactly an IPA. They get the whole history of Pliny the Younger, Pliny the Elder on it. It's just a great darn beer. I don't know if I'm going to crack this open today, but and I wanted to talk a little bit about tequila. This is my favorite company. And we'll do a little shot together, maybe. Altos, and it's just a great tequileria. Their Reposado, which I think is just excellent. I get at a little store. Shout out to my little favorite San Diego liquor store, a little mom and pop store, busy as hell. Little hole in the wall, but they've got the greatest selection of beers and tequilas I've ever seen. I mean, when you go into a store and you see tequilas go for $500, $600, $700, that's kind of interesting. That tells you people like it. This is $19.99, and this is a Reposado. This has been aged for 3 to 6 months. And we'll have some of this. And I finally found, I could never find their Blanco. I like Blancos. Blanco is real tequila. It's not aged. It's aged very little or not at all, to the best of my knowledge. And it really tastes like that blue agave, or whatever agave they use. There's many different kinds of agave. You want to look for, usually on the label, they will say 100% agave. You don't know what agave they use, though. Okay, and agave's getting in short supply because they're selling a hell of a lot of tequila. So I've got these two guys here. And I started off tonight because with this little. I like these little beers. Sometimes you just don't want a 12 or an 18 ounce, and this is Corona. It's good beer. It's owned by that other company that owns that other beer that some people are not drinking right now. But it's still a darn good. I like Corona. I think it's just a good beer, and I can add lime to it sometimes. It's just a good old beer, and it's great right out of the bottle here with that little bit of frost on there. Just love it on there. I love when you take it to, when you're drinking a beer, to me, and you're getting that little bit of ice on it. That's what I like to see. That's what I enjoy. That's what I enjoy, especially on a hot day. Now, let me preface this. I'm in the mountains here. About the warmest it gets is about 75 degrees. It really does not get that warm out here. But it can get so darn cold. It can get cold at night here, like down to 40, 45 degrees. And oh my gosh, uh, you will kills all the mosquitoes. It's wonderful. I work from home. I call myself a mentor. I mentor and coach, consult people in sales. I've written a couple books on sales. Let me see if I have one here. 1, 3. I've written 9 books actually on sales. How to sell. Whoa, almost knocked over the beer. How to sell with guts. The Mentor, A Story of Success. That's a rags to riches novel. How to Sell with Guts. Or the Mentor Teaches the Gut Sales Method, The Rules of Guts. And I've got a few other books here, but I can't reach them right now. You want a good beer? Good old Corona. Never go wrong with it. It's just refreshing. Little that typical Mexican beer corny flavor. You're not getting a bunch. If you're looking for a lot of hops and malt and all those other things, you're not going to get it in this. It's just a good basic generic beer. It's a little bit more than some of your brand beers, your Coors and your Miller High Life. This little puppy, take a guess what I paid for. Hey, it matches my shirt. Hey, take a little guess what this little puppy sells for. I get it I live in California part of the year in Colorado in the mountains, and part of the year in Pinehurst, North Carolina, where golfers go to die. I get this in San Diego, usually $8.99. It was $11.99 here in Colorado. It comes from Oregon, I believe, from the Grushin River Brewing Company. But it's just good. It's just darn good beer. What did I do today? I'm the kind of guy, I love to trail run. I disappear in the trails. We have trails up here in Winter Park, Colorado. They just go hundreds of miles, if not thousands. I mean, they just go all over the county. And here's what we did today. If you Apple Watch fans, at 14:53, that gives me an idea of basically how many miles I ran. So I came pretty, let's see what I did. Yep, right around there, 14.10 miles. That's not bad for a Saturday. The most interesting thing is, and then I did some swimming. I didn't do much. About 10 laps. I usually do a lot more. The most interesting thing is you can mark your calories. For you guys, I'll show you this. I try to burn 1,500 calories a day in exercise, and I came pretty darn close today. 1454, almost 96%. 1,500 calories, I believe it's 3,000 calories to a pound. So if you're watching your weight, you watch what you eat. I'm not going to lecture you on health. But I am a health nut. I have a big salad every night, just because I like salad, and then I have my main course, but I don't eat as much of the main course. I only eat 1 meal a day. So if you got any of you guys OMAD people out there? I do that all the time. I like to just have that good old 1 meal a day. It just works really well for me. And it helps me to control my weight. So between running and just eating that 1 meal, and I eat whatever I want. I'll have ribs, barbecue, steak, chicken, fish. Tonight, eggplant parmesan, good stuff. Very good stuff. Oh, it's so refreshing. It's so good. What's your favorite food to have with a beer? What do you like? There's not much I don't like. Pizza, chicken wings, barbecue, ribs. Big discussion wherever I go. Beef or pork ribs, or both. I love beef ribs. There's just something about them. They're bigger, they're chunky, they're juicier, there's more meat on the bone. I really enjoy that. Let's have a little tequila here. I had a good week. Picked up new clients this week, which is always good. I coach people one-on-one on Zoom, group and private training. I teach people how to give good phone, how to get on the phone, how to be so comfortable with people, how to build your confidence. Guess what happens when you sound different on the phone? If you sound like every other annoying salesperson, what do? You get 100% rejection, don't you? I don't care what script the gurus tell you and everything else. The thing about it is you got to talk. We have a rule called the rule of 5. Can you speak to 5 people a day? I guarantee you, if you have a good product or service to sell, I don't care if you're in financial services, insurance, car sales, real estate, a lot of my clients are real estate, you've got to speak to 5 clients a day. And I will guarantee to you that if you speak to 5 people, I got a lot of sun today. Wow. Oof, my face is burning. You know what happens up in the mountain, even with sunblock, and you go I went up to 11,000 feet. I couldn't get to 12 today because there was so much dang snow up there still. Believe that. Snow still up in the mountains. Can you believe it? It's really something. Talk to people and don't give a presentation. Don't start the slideshow. Don't do that. What does your doctor do when you go for an examination or a checkup? What does he or she say? How are you? Is anything bothering you? Does something hurt? And hopefully they're engaging you in a conversation. I think we've lost that skill of engaging people in conversations. What do you guys think about that? If we can talk to a few people every day, it's amazing. And you say, I have a solution for you. I have a couple ideas. I'd like to give you something for free. Do you get closer to that person or further apart? I'm finishing this beer right in front of you here. It's that good. Oh, baby, how sweet it is, Jackie Gleason. My second favorite cheap beer. I'm not going to drink all these in front of you. It's good old Miller High Life. $8.99 at 12 packs. He's still got a little. I pulled him right out of the freezer. What do you guys think about keeping stuff in the freezer? What's your thought? What's your thoughts about that? Hey, we got a few people. I'm making some notes here. Craig's on. Craig Swenson. Some good beers you have there. Yes, I do. Thank you. Jason says, hello, Claude. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Jason. We're just drinking all our little, deciding which beer. I ran almost 15 miles today, so I figured I deserve a couple beers. Have you been to Bend, Oregon? No, I have been to Oregon, but never Bend. And Oregon has some great darn beers. It's in Central Oregon in the desert, and in the same thing there on the hot day and cold at night. Yeah, no mosquitoes. Are you guys living in places where there's a heck of a lot of mosquitoes? By the way, if you have a question or comment or anything, I'm monitoring you on YouTube here. And if you want to join me, just come to here, I'm going to put it in the chat room. Just come to zoomclaude.com. And if you have Zoom on your device, you'll come right on. If you want to share a brewski or a beer story with me. I love this little beer. I don't know why. It's a union beer. It's kosher beer. It's just my friend, those who follow Louisiana beer, Ron, his friend David always says, sometimes I just like a beer to taste like a beer. And I thought that was brilliant. That was one of the best. Let's have a little glass there. Pour this out. Look at that ice on the top. To me, that's the perfection. Just right there. You're thirsty. You've been sweating. It's a hot summer day. You're at a backyard barbecue or something. You pull this little puck. I hate warm. Does anyone like warm beer? Even in Britain, they say warm beer. It's not hot or warm. It's lightly chill. It's not as cold as American beer. And it's hard to pour sometimes when there's too much ice in there. They've got a great old label though too, don't they? Don't you love that label? The champagne of beers. This is one of my go-to favorites. Okay, I do expensive beers too. I drink Stone's Arrogant Bastard. Oh my gosh, I've been going to Trader Joe's a lot. Bunny with a Chainsaw. It's a 4-pack. It's $18. It's probably one of the best. It's a double dry hopped IPA. I've talked a lot about it on other beer shows. It's just a great beer. Anyway, this is a good old Miller High Life. You know, once again, it's not an overpowering IPA hoppy beer. This is good old traditional cheapo American beer. A lot of people from other countries make fun of our beer, but I got to tell you, I like it. It's you can have more than one, who used to say when you're having more than one. What commercial did that come from? Help me. Was that Schlitz? When you're having more than one. What was that? I can't remember. To your health. Refreshing, corny, definitely corny. Almost a touch of sweetness in the back end of it. Very effervescent. I guess that's where the old champagne comes from there. I mean, it's a bubbly little beer. The head holds a little bit for a while. This is a short glass, so it's hard to say much about that. Oh, what do we got here? Claude, you're like Jack LaLanne. Thank you. That's so funny you said that, Jason. I was a big fan of Jack LaLanne. This guy, I forgot. Somebody Google it for me. Did he live until his 90s or something? The guy, I remember when he was in his 80s, he used to go in New York Harbor with chains on and drag 10 rowboats and shit like that. There's something to be said about not turning into an old fart. You want to stay healthy. You want to stay thin. You want to feel just good. You know what my goal is? To just feel till my last day on the planet. I just want to feel as good as I feel right now with you wonderful people. I like to feel good. I like to sleep well. God, I can fall. It drives my wife crazy. She has trouble sleeping. I can fall asleep. My word, 15 to 30. Sometimes I just put my head on the pillow. I'm out. And she said, how do you do that? And I said, well, it's the sleep of the righteous. I just fall asleep well. I exercise every day. Okay, I'm an A personality. I know. I'm a transplanted New Yorker. I climbed the wall into California. And now I live between there and here. And I think staying healthy, staying thin. I know this is a tough subject in America today. It's, but I think we need to talk about it. Everybody's worried about a lot of bullshit out there. About everybody's stuff. What's the one thing that's killing more Americans? Our health. You go into, my heart goes out. I go into a Walmart and I see somebody who's morbidly obese working or shopping or something. What is going on out there? Got to take care of yourself. And all the doctors, all the pills, all the surgery in the world. See, I am on a soapbox. Sorry. It's the Miller High Life. It does it every time. I haven't even opened the tequila yet. But take care of yourself. Feel good. Feel healthy. You know how you felt when you were 18 years old in high school and you just felt good and you didn't need sleep and you always had all that energy and everything. And you could eat. I could literally in high school eat an entire New Jersey, one of these months. I could eat an entire pizza by myself. Word. Okay. And with real Coca-Cola, none of this bullshit diet stuff or anything. Real Coke or real Pepsi or what you can't find anymore, Royal Crown Cola. God, I wish I could find Royal Crown. Jason says tater tots and spicy boneless wings go great with beer. Jason, man, you're reading my mind. I love tater. This week I got a tri-tip. Okay. And I eat really healthy. I eat big salads. I eat a lot of fresh fruits and veggies. I have one meal a day, and it's always about, I would say, 35 to 40% are fresh fruits and veggies. A big salad. After dinner, I always have strawberries, banana, apple, kumquats. I love kumquats. But tater tots, which are deadly processed food. But man, when they come out of the oven and they got that little crunch, those little suckers, man, they're so good. Oh, and then you dip them. What do you dip your tater tots in? This tells me a lot. Heinz ketchup, mustard, or Worcester sauce. That Liam Perrine's steak sauce. I love that. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I put it on my tater tots, on my steak, on my burgers. The steak sauce, Liam Perrine's. It is It's that thin little bottle with the white A1. That's the other one. Okay, I was thinking of Worcester. It's A1 steak sauce. It's my favorite. I also love Bubba's barbecue sauce. It's on the shelf there and everything. It's got this great looking man on there smiling. And this, I'll tell you what, it's good sauce. When I go to North Carolina, half the damn aisle is barbecue sauces. And I love trying, it's like I like trying different beers. I love trying different barbecue sauces all the time. Tater tots, Jason, you hit a home run with tater. You had me at tater tots, right? Oh, let's say here, Dogfish Head. Dogfish is a good damn beer. Oh, I've had Dogfish, excellent beer. You're talking step up. You're talking beers like I have here at good old Pliny here, overpriced Pliny. This is when I make a sale or I have a really good day. This is the beer I go to. I always keep one or two in the fridge just to celebrate, because Pliny is, you don't want to drink a Pliny the Elder every day. It's too great a beer to take for granted. It's for special occasions. Absolutely. Have you seen is beer getting expensive again? The high-end craft beers? My God. I was talking earlier about Bunny with a Chainsaw from, oh God, what is it? Session Beer Company in LA, or Session or Cereal, I forget. And Bunny with a Chainsaw, one of the best beers I've ever had. $18 a 4-pack though. Hold on a second. Let me get you guys a can. Show you. I was wrong. It's this is one of my best discoveries. It's Bunny with a Chainsaw. I've done this on Ron's channel. It's from Paperback. And here, you can scan it if you want. This is it's a double, it's cute. They got a little cartoon about a bunny killing the farmer on the farm he lives on with a chainsaw. It's hysterical. It really is funny. This is an amazing beer. Trader Joe's, $18 a 4-pack. Okay. It's a double dry hopped hazy India Pale. A little high, 8.2%. Which I believe, what is Pliny the Elder's got right up there too. I'm just grabbing all my beers out of the fridge here. I love going to liquor stores, just picking out. I love the liquor stores where you can buy one bottle or one can. Okay. 2 for good old Rolling Rock. Okay. 2 for $4 at the Safeway the other day. I grabbed a bunch. This is my old college drinking beer. It's, it's an American, it's a light beer. It's a pale, they call it extra pale. There's no bite at all in this. It's a good beer. I'm not dissing it or anything. It's a fun drinking beer at a barbecue or something like nothing. It's got to be icy cold though. Something about these cheapo American beers and stuff. If when they get a little warm or a little unfizzy, I just toss them. This has got to be so like little bits of ice in it for me to really drink it. Absolutely. Jason, I live outside of Seattle and there's a bar. Oh, Seattle has great beer. What's that one? Jason, there's a great beer in Seattle. It's called the Men's Room. It's really called the Men's Room. It's a great beer. I can't find it anywhere else. If you ever see it, if you haven't had it, try it. The bar here has a digital thermometer that reads 29 degrees for how cold they are pouring their beer. Nothing beats an ice cold beer on a hot day. Amen, brother. Nothing beats a good cold beer. Jack was 96 when he passed, Sewell's partner. Thank you for that. And he was a character. Google Jack LaLanne. He was a health nut. He was a little guy. I don't think he was 5'3", 5'4", and he just loved teaching health to people. He was on, I remember when I was a kid in New York City, He was on the TV early mornings, those early morning exercise shows. And he always wore these little funny stretch pants and everything. And he did all these leg lifts and stuff like that. And he was an amazing guy. And he just wanted to teach people good health. He was a good man, definitely. Dip the tater tops in ranch or ketchup. I like ketchup, but I'm going to tell you, I'm a real snob when it comes to ketchup. It's got to be Heinz or nothing. I'm sorry. We're going to argue about this, right? Because you probably have I don't like these other brands of ketchup. It's the same thing with mayonnaise. If it ain't Hellman's, don't serve it. I don't want that whip shit or any of those other mayonnaises. I want real mayonnaise. Real Heinz ketchup. Okay. Remember that commercial? It was one of the best damn TV commercials. It was like, the song Anticipation by Carly Simon, and it was a hamburger, and they had the bottle of Heinz, and it would come out real slow, and it'd be singing Anticipation, and it comes out slow because it's thick, it's delicious, it's good stuff. It's funny how certain brands you're so loyal to and you praise them, and I've done a couple brands here today, and then when you go to someone else's house and they have the cheap Safeway ketchup or the ShopRite ketchup or the Pathmark or Vaughn's ketchup or mayonnaise. I don't know. It's just something. It's not as good. It's just in your mind. It's probably just as good if you didn't tell me. But there's just something about labeling and brands. Absolutely. Hey, SDR. A1 is excellent. Thank you, Jason. I do like A1. You can put it on a salad, on a burger, on ribs. It's just a good on a steak. I had a tri-tip this week on the barbecue. I have one of those little Coleman grills. I used to have the big, the mega, the gigantic stainless steel gas grill. Okay. And it's convenient. You flip it on, it's going. I don't think food tastes the same on a gas. I'm going to start. I know that you guys are going to be pissed off at me. Okay, so, and it's okay, you're entitled to your opinion, but this is mine. I got a little Coleman grill. You know that little one? It's just my wife and I. The kids are grown up and out of the house. And I threw on this tri-tip on this with these really good charcoals with a little bit of hickory bits in them. The company, I forget their name, with the blue and white label. They make the barbecue coals. And my God, that was the best. I had a bark on the outside. I coated it with a little bit of olive oil, Lowry salt, another big brand, Lowry salt. Tell me, is there a better spice in the world to put on a steak than Lowry salt? I'm hungry, you can tell. Lowry salt, and you put it on, and I put a little Progresso Italian breadcrumbs all around it, and I threw that on the grill, both sides, 15 minutes, super hot, and I love my little Smoke and Joe Coleman grill. There's something about having a good beer and starting up the grill and getting that flame real high and making the neighbors nervous. Oh, that's good. It's still cool. It's still refreshing. There is nothing better. And I had this tri-tip and I was slicing it, about quarter-inch slice, and I had a bark on the outside, that crunch on meat, that bark they call it. You get it at a good Texas barbecue place, and you slice that up real thin, and it's a little red in the middle. And this thing was so tender and delicious, and sliced it up, put it on a plate with my tater tots, yes, and a little A1. Oh, molto bene. Oh, was that good, baby? That was good. Let's see, SDR United. Hey, Mr. Diamond, what's happening? Had a good day today. Did my 15-mile run. I swim every day too. I'm an exercise. I love to exercise. I love going out and running, and I stop at the coffee shop. I run into friends. I sometimes I disappear deep in the woods, really deep. I'm in the mountains here, so I can go up to 12,000 feet sometimes. I carry a knife and bear spray with me, just because we have bears, we have moose that will charge you. We have mountain lions, cougars. Okay. Cougars are mountain lions, not elderly ladies who hang out in bars. You got to be careful and aware. When I go running, I take my Apple Watch with me, and I usually only have one of my earbuds in my ear here. one of these guys, you know what they are. Just so I can hear. I've come around corners and run into moose. Okay. And moose can weigh up to 1,000 pounds, and they have these gigantic racks, and they usually leave you alone. If you leave them alone, you just give them a very wide berth. Why is neutering the prospect and saying, I don't know, so important? Good question. Because you're trying, most people do not want to open. What did moms say all the time? Don't talk to strangers, right? So here you have a stranger. You don't, they're cautious. They don't know you. They don't trust you, know you, or like you yet. And you want to engage them in a conversation. Sometimes saying, that's a great question. That's called a stroke. I'm doing my sales thing now, guys. I'm a sales trainer, and SDR asked a great question here. Neutering the prospect. I don't know if I would use the word neutering, by the way. It has a different connotation, Sewell's partner. But when you say, I don't know to somebody, it gets a reaction from them. It forces them to reinterpret their question, or to share more information, or even attack you. What do you mean you don't know? Well, I just don't know what you mean. When you say this, what exactly do you mean? What's the problem? What's the issue? And we got to get people to open up. We can't just do what I'm doing right now, just blathering away and lecturing and everything. When we have lost you want to know $1 million secret? And we've lost this skill. It's the $1 million skill. I'll share this with you guys. Talk a little business here while we're drinking beer. Wait till I have the tequila here in a second. Favorite cheapo tequila, tastes as good as the expensive Altos. Well, when you're talking to people and you can engage them in a conversation, you want to get information, you want to get knowledge and trust. You want to get as much as you can from them to open up. And what prospects have a great system. They want to pick your brain for free. They want to ask you a lot of questions. And the problem is that if you're just answering questions, it's like, you're in a courtroom and you're being cross-examined. You want a conversation. We've lost this skill, the art and science of persuasion, of conversation, of charisma. Do you know what I mean by charisma? Can you meet somebody and have that instant likability? Did you ever meet somebody at a party, at a social thing, or somebody, and you read the same book, saw the same movie, liked the same cheap beer like your Uncle Claude here, and you spoke with those people, and instant you had that mutuality. That's what I try to teach through, and the way I teach my students, every Monday we do role playing, we practice, and I have an actual system. And I show people, and I have different mind maps. I show you how to do pattern interrupts, how to ask questions, and how to get so comfortable, how to get so confident. Confidence is $1 million skill. Don't we love, and I'm not talking about a braggart or somebody who intimidates people, but can you speak to somebody with such confidence? Okay, such assertiveness, not a bad word. And I think we like people who are assertive and confident in life. I think that's very attractive to people. For you guys out there, you think a corny line's going to get that girl to be interested in you? You're going to have to be a good listener, and you're going to have to show God, am I politically incorrect tonight? A little manly confidence. I think a woman likes a man who's confident, who's assertive. It goes back to that caveman days. The guy who went out and brought food back to the cave. He was the shiznik, okay? You remember that movie? Okay, he was the man. He was the guy who went and brought food back to the cave. And people that was based on survival. And that was very attractive to people. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about beer. How did you get me on sales? How did you get that? Rolling Rock, good beer, great label. Can trust a beer with a horse's head on it. Come on. I mean, it is a good beer. It's cheap beer. I can get these 25 ounce when they go on sale 2 for $4. I love loading up I like loading up. I have a beer a night, or a glass of wine. I like wine too. I like good California wine. I'll have a good glass of wine every night. Men's Room Red Ale is excellent, made by Elysian Fields Brewery. Thank you, Jason. Yes, it is a very good, as I recall, it's a darker or red beer. Oh, did you guys hear, what was it? Steam Anchor or Anchor Steam? I always get it confused. They're closing up. They've been in business over 100 years. Ron probably talked about it the other day. I missed it. But Anchor Steam Beer in San Francisco, a famous beer, a golden copper colored beer, delicious beer. I mean, a really good beer. And they're closing up. They were bought by, I believe, one of the Japanese beer companies for $82 million. And I don't know what's going on. What's going on in the beer industry right now? Budweiser, I mean, I was shocked the other day where I go to Safeway down the road here. We don't have a lot of choices up in the mountains here in Colorado. And the Budweiser section was empty. Now, I don't know if it's because they sold all the Bud or because people aren't buying it and they're not stocking it anymore. But man, and the same with Bud Light and different Anheuser-Busch InBev beverages. My only problem with that whole thing, forget about all the political stuff and all the mistakes they made in marketing. It's a good product. It's a good beer. And I feel bad that a lot of people, truck drivers and people who distribute and bars that sell a lot of it, I hope they don't get hurt. People are going to substitutes. What are the substitutes they're going to? Of course, this thing is going off like a rocket ship since the Bud Light fiasco. And it's a great beer. I love this. I don't know about you guys. I love this can bottle. I just love this. Sometimes I don't want to drink a whole. How many ounces is this? This is it's about 16 ounces. 16 ounces. I should know that. Doing a beer with Claude, I should know the size. I love the can bottle only because you can seal it up again. You don't have to finish it. Sometimes you don't finish a beer and you save, and you put you finish half, you put it back in the fridge, you finish it later, you finish it the next day. It's good. When you open up one of these puppies, you better finish it, right? Because what is one of the greatest sins in the world? Pouring good beer down the sink. Absolutely. Yes, hit that like button. Oh, thank you very much. What is a pattern interrupt? A pattern interrupt is where in sales, where your competition, they all say the same old boring bullshit. Hi, how are you today? Just reaching out. If I could have a minute of your time. And all the when you hear this at dinner time, you get that phone call, you get that kind of marketing message or a text or something. All you're thinking about is, oh shit, they want to sell me something. How do I get off this? Or ignore them, or I hang up the phone, or I click. A pattern interrupt allows you to use language and words that get the prospect curious or interested in you. I will say to Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, this is Claude. I'm sorry it took me so long to get back to you. Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, I'd like to make you an offer today. Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, how do you spell Smith? Is that with one M or two? Because I have a check and a contract in front of me and an offer I'd like to make you on your property. Things like that get their attention, that they don't hear, that gets them a little off balance. And this is how one person, I work from my home. I'm very grateful. I have a great life, great family. I love drinking cheap beer and expensive tequila. And I do it all by talking to people on the phone. Used to use Skype. Now I'm strictly Zoom and FaceTime. I have clients all over the world who I teach the G.U.T.S salesman. You guys, by the way, have been great listening to me tonight. If you want a free copy of my book, just go to my webpage, send me a text, claudediamond@mac.com, or send me a text, 619-206-5960, and I'll send you a free copy of my book. I'll send you a digital PDF book on sales or real estate or lease purchasing or whatever you want. And this is part of my marketing, is to attract people by having good conversations. I have closed people, my word of honor. I have closed people and made a year's income in short 30 to 45 minute conversations. They said, you know what, you're right. Let's do this. I'm ready to do the deal. I don't care if it was real estate sales training. I teach other coaches how to coach. I love talking about marketing, attraction marketing. I don't want to bother people all day long. this scalable marketing that everybody talks about. I think that's BS. I want to talk to people who have an interest in it. They have a problem, they have a need, they have a greed, and I have a solution for them. And do I close everybody? Of course not. Do I give away a lot of free information? Why not? And that's how one person with good technology and good concepts and the ability to persuade people honestly, so that they're getting the value. I do one-on-one mentoring. My clients can call me anytime. They can schedule with me. They can join me in group calls or private calls. And I have some great success stories. I've taught some people how to make a lot of money because sales is that $1 million skill. See, you got me on that soapbox. You got again. What's your best pattern interrupt? Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, sorry it took me so long to get back to you. I'd like to make you an offer. I can speak to any CEO at any company. You guys, you wouldn't want to hear that pattern interrupt, would you? You're always getting those guardians at the gate. You find out who's the CEO or the vice president or the head of marketing or whatever you want, and you call up their guardian, their receptionist, and say, hi, this is Claude. I wanted to see if Joe's free for lunch today. And every now and then, well, will he know what this is about? Well, no, I ask strangers to lunch all the time. And most people, I'd say about 75% say, oh, I'll put you through. And then I get to their guardian at the gate. And I say, hey, is Joe in? This is Claude. I'm in town. I'd love to take him to lunch today. And, oh, let me see if he's available. You know, who is this again? Oh, this is Claude Diamond. Tell Joe I'm in town. I'd love to take him to lunch. I never lie. And I don't think there's a law against inviting people to lunch. One of the secrets of the pattern interrupt is to act familiar. What did you ever have someone run into you in the supermarket, the Walmart, the Starbucks, and say, hey, Joe, how are you? How's the family? You don't know who the F they are. Okay, pretty funny, right? But what do you do when that person comes up to you and starts talking to you? They know you, but you don't remember them. It isn't just me, right? This has happened to you too. And I talk, and the funny thing is, when that happens, I go along to get along. Why? I don't want to embarrass myself. Who are they? And usually my wife comes by and says, oh no, we had dinner with them a year ago. Oh, we met them at this wedding or something like that. After you talk with them a while, the brain cell kicks in. And every now and then they'll remind you, oh, don't you remember we met at the real estate club about 2 years ago or something. They knew me, but I didn't know them. And that happens because I have 1,800 videos on YouTube. I do a lot of public speaking. And sometimes people come up to me. I've had someone on an airplane on a trip. Hi, Claude. I didn't know who. Hi, how are you? How nice to see you. I saw you on that interview talk show. And oh, okay, great. Did you enjoy it? And have a conversation. They're talking to me like we're the best of friends. We exchange Christmas gifts and everything. I don't have a clue who they are. Pattern interrupts allow you to engage in conversation. The rule is simple, and we've gotten away from it. We've gotten so far away from it. Talk to people. Ask, can I ask you a few questions? I want to see if I can help you solve your problem. Maybe even find a way for you to double your sales. You wouldn't be interested in doubling your sales. Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, would you like more leads? Would you like more quality, warm leads every day? I have an idea for you. You wouldn't want to hear it, would you? So we use pattern interrupts. We use redirection. We use stroking, nurturing, empathy. These are all things I teach in my books and my courses and everything. I believe in the psychology of success, and these are skills that you can learn and practice and get so good at it. And guess what happens when you speak to people? You can afford to buy really good. Let's have a shot at tequila here together. Okay, help me out. Reposado or Blanco? This is Altos, ALTOS. This is one of my, I have tequilas that are hundreds of dollars. I mean, I have George Clooney's, oh my God, Casamigos. God, it can go for $60 to $120 a bottle. I get this, the Reposado aged in California for $19.99. At my wonderful little liquor store there in Chula Vista. And I found this in Apple Jacks in Denver, which is the most wonderful liquor store in the world. It's the supermarket. And I got this for 36. This is a Blanco. This is not aged. And this was $6 more than the aged tequila. Isn't that amazing? Let's use the aged tequila, if you like. Any other stuff here? No Patron. Patron's good. I'm going to say something about Patron. Thank you for bringing it up, SDR. Patron was really, I think Patron started the tequila revolution. There's a revolution in this country. Americans love tequila. I mean, you go into some liquor stores in Colorado and California, the wall is full of tequilas, from cheapo Jose Cuervo, which is a fine mixing tequila, to tequilas that can go for $1,000 a bottle. It's crazy. And I think it all started with Patron. Patron is a very good tequila, and it became very expensive. And as we started to develop our taste buds on tequila, I think, oh boy, am I going to get in trouble on that? Patron is good tequila. Don't get me wrong. I think this is my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. I think it's overpriced for the quality. I think a Casa Amigos, I think a Centenario, which is the most popular tequila in Tijuana, and it's about $35 a bottle. It's a big, tall bottle with ridges on it, and they make a great reposado, and I think it's as good. I think it's better than Patron, and it's 1/3 the price. A good bottle of Patron now, tell me if I'm wrong, it's about 55 to 75 bottles to pay if you're getting an anejo, a reposado, or a blanco here. Let's have a little sip here. Oh, this is so good. Just the smell. The agave comes right. The agave tequila is about agave and the quality of agave. And the blue agave is the king of all agaves. It's the best. The trouble is, it takes, I think, 5 to 7 years to grow these huge agave plants, and tequila has become so popular now, and people the demand is so great that they're using other agaves, cheaper agaves. They're doing blending, they're adding glycerins and things like that. This is what you call a pure or a clean tequila. And it's not expensive, not compared to Patron. Sorry, SDR United. Maybe you didn't want all that opinion. Patron is good. Don't get me wrong. I just think that there's better value and better tequilas out here. Salute to all my friends. Mm. 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 It's the only way to get me to shut the fuck up, right? But excuse me. So good. I didn't want to talk. When I drink a good tequila, I don't shoot it. I sip it. It's that good. It's a cheap tequila, it just has that hard alcohol burn. This, you can taste the alcohol in this, of course. You can taste the agave. You can taste the sweetness of the agave, when it's fermented and the sweetness comes out. And it's still on my tongue. I'm still tasting it. It's that good. Altos tequila, just wonderful. And then, while it's rolling around your mouth, roll it down with a little cheap Miller High Life. Listen, you're right or left. I don't know what you mean, but listen, thanks for listening to me, putting up with me, sharing beer and tequila with me. It was a lot of fun. You guys have a wonderful, safe summer. Okay. Hope I'm in the mountains here in Colorado. I'm 9,200 feet up here right now. The sun's going down. The temperature comes down. You open up the doors, you get that fresh air with that pine smell and stuff like that. We get the moose and the foxes run down our driveway, and deer and everything. It's a wildlife heaven here. And it's cool. We don't need air conditioning. I know some of you are in hot places and you're praying, you're meditating in front of that air conditioner, aren't you? Yeah, I know. I grew up in New York City, and my God, the concrete in July, the concrete would melt. It was so damn hot. But so stay cool, stay safe, stay healthy, drink good beer wherever you are. and enjoy life and stay healthy. Okay. Thank you for joining me, my friends. Take care.